So yeah, that's how it feels. so, so Vinod sir will now not forget my name. So it's a pretty done. It's a big issue, you know. I mean, when you have a father who's done quite a bit, and people just keep calling you by. They keep saying you're Balu's son, and it sort of hurts. It's a thing, you know. I've done my fair bit of things for the state and for my constituency. In fact, I've done much more than my dad. I'll tell you how. I'll even tell you how. He did 58,000 crores. He brought 58,000 crores into this state thanks to the late Honorable Chief Minister through Kalaignar avargal, Muthuralingal Kalaignar avargal. When the late Chief Minister, he was the leader and he led this DMK for 50 long years, and that under his leadership brought in 58,000 crores worth of roads, all the highways that you see cutting across Tamil Nadu. It's all because of that regime, and that's the number he brought. But I've done much more. In fact, we've brought in 12,50,000 crores worth of investments into Tamil Nadu. So I must say I've done at least 10 times more than, at least 20 times more than my dad. So I deserve being called TRB Rajaa. So I think that should go in. And so also to all the lovely people here, the leaders of Rotary Club of Chen.AI, Keelpog, Rotary Club of Madras, distinguished industrialists, doctors, and all the amazing people who've joined in here. I don't want to miss out the other names: Karthik Surendran sir, Nikhil Raj sir, my beloved friend Krishna, who made sure that I come here today, and Dalbai, and all the amazing people, sir, everything, and all the amazing people who've just joined here today, and the ladies who've been brought here by the husbands and who also wanted to come here on their own, more so the ones who came on their own. So I would love to say good evening and vanakkam to every one of you. So the first thing when Krishna told me that you should come here, எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியல. I mean, they don't know what new age politicians are all about, right? I really want to just throw out that whole the image of a politician, of a Tamil politician, of a Tamil Nadu politician out of the door. And I think the problem with society today is the lack of depth in understanding, or the lack of the ability just to try and or the will to just try and understand what lawmakers are all about, right? People just don't seem to want to know lawmakers, right? So I'll get to why that is a problem in a bit. I'll tell you why that is a problem, and I can see that problem right here on stage when Dada spoke about so many things here, and it was quite a nice thing, but I was thinking, why would you want to do that? I'll tell you why. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tamil Nadu is I do see that you have this motto, or the sun never sets in the Rotary, you say. The sun never sets in Tamil Nadu also, sir. And the people of Tamil Nadu know that. In more ways, sir, in more ways. I'm talking about the rising sun also. So and you also said the Zone 5 is the best one in the world. Of course, Tamil Nadu is part of it, and of course, whenever Tamil Nadu is part of anything, we have a habit of becoming the number one in whatever we do. That is what Tamil Nadu brings to the table, sir. And this, ladies and gentlemen, it's not because of just the Tamil people. It's not Tamil alone, sir. It's just the way people of Tamil Nadu are. It's the cauldron, it's the multicultural cauldron that Tamil Nadu is. It's how you get to learn from people from all across the country, in fact all across the world, more so in Tamil Nadu than anywhere in any other country, any other state in India. Any other state you would probably bump into a few Firangis here and there, but here Firangis are all part of Tamil Nadu. There's no Firangi here. It is all, it's a very, very colorful melting pot of cultures, not just from of people from inside India, it's from across the world. And that is why we're so inclusive. It's inclusivity here. It's not about just the caste issues and other issues that you generally see in India. Inclusivity here, it goes to the level of including every single human being on the planet. And that is why if you look at the welfare measures that we bring into the table, do you know that anybody who's a human, you just have to be human. And if you're on the road of any road in Tamil Nadu and you happen to have an accident, you just don't have to worry, because the government of Tamil Nadu covers up everything, every single paisa of the cost of helping your medical help for the first 48 hours. The first 48 hours, we cover all your expenses. Any major accident, any minor accident, 48 hours, you just have to be human. You don't have to be from India, right? So that is why we say, when we say inclusive, we are the truly most inclusive state in India. Truly most inclusive. I hope I don't have, there are not many Keralites here, because they are also fantastic. I know Didi state is also doing fantastically well. But the union thing seems to say we're doing more for the Bangladeshis than others. But we here feel that, of course, they're humans too. They're having problems across the border. If they want to come and feel safe here, just like we've done for our Tamil brothers and sisters from Iram here, I don't think that's a problem. We are all humans, and we are their neighbors, and I think it's our duty to save our fellow humans, right? When we have the wherewithal to actually take care of them, you don't have to be the United States of America to do stuff like that, right? You don't have to be France or Germany, you just have to be human, right? And I think Delhi needs to see that too. And I think that's what we all bring to the table. And I also love the way you said knowledge shared is service multiplied. It is also governance enhanced, right? It is also governance enhanced, right? You should add that. You should, whenever you speak, go add that. Knowledge shared is definitely service multiplied, and wherever there is service, there is governance. Good governance is also about listening in, and that is where Chief Minister M.K. Stalin succeeds. Because this man, he listens in, right? He gets feedback from every one of you. I'm here today because I wanted to break into this group, because this group is all about meeting within that group. Even today, you're talking about gated communities, sir. Let's not get ourselves up, huh? Let's open up. Right? And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why there's a problem, because you're living in an echo chamber, right? You're living in an echo chamber. You're not listening to the world. You're not listening to people who actually matter in the things that are doing. You're trying to help the society, but you wouldn't listen to the lawmakers who are helping the society. And you don't listen to the lawmakers who actually know what's happening in society. You're living in a gated community, right? So I think that itself has to break, and I think you have to break out of that and get out of what you're doing. You've vaccinated 10,000 kids, you've said, HPV. Do you know that the government of Tamil Nadu is the first government in India to actually roll out a policy where all girls in Tamil Nadu are vaccinated for free for HPV? Do you know that? We're the first one. We're the first one. We're the first one. Now, why would you want to spend money on that, right? I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Maybe you started way before we did, right? It's a very good thing. I'm not saying no, but then if you listen in more, you'll use that part of the money wisely, right? So you also said you spoke about blood banks. You spoke about other things that you're doing to all the hospitals in town. I was asking sir who you connected to in the hospital. Illa Masu sir nare pesi to Masu sir kekro. Masu is our health minister, a phenomenal man. He's one of the best marathon runners in the world. In fact, he's a world record holder for marathons above the age of 60. He's run, I think, over 100 marathons across the world, and he's our health minister, right? Aptly so. But I know for a fact that the blood bank, we have enough money to put it out, and I think it's a duty of the government to actually put out blood banks, right? And there's so much more that you're doing. In fact, the houses that you've done, Irula houses, fantastic. Pat yourself on your backs, fantastic. But also give yourself a this is something we have money for. The government of Tamil Nadu and the government of India is splurging on. I mean, I shouldn't be saying splurging. We have enough money to do more housing. Just splurging, it's what we have to do, but we are not using it properly, because now I can see that we are not using it correctly, because you're having to step in. You shouldn't be doing it. Irula housing is not your job, sir. It's the government of Tamil Nadu's job, it's the government of India's job. Because we have funds, we have taxed you for that. Right? We've taxed you for that, and we've taken that money, and it's our job to do that. And if you're not doing it, as people of the service community, you should come and tell us, the paranga in that irke. These guys haven't got it, so why don't you give it to them? That part is something you could bring that knowledge, you can bring that message across to us. Tell us that these people here need it, and you have the funds. Now I'll tell you why you don't know that you can do this. Because you don't know governance. Because there's no civics. There's no civics in school. You don't teach your kids what their rights are. That's the problem. You teach them how to get into Rotary clubs, but you don't teach them how to go into a constitutional club. Right? What do you think is necessary, Dada? You tell me what is important. The important thing is to go into the constitutional club and not the Rotary club. Right? And you should understand that half of them don't even know where the constitutional club is. Right? They don't even know how to run for a state. They don't know how to run for a councillor. Why do you have to know? Because I'm not going to stand in it in Sologadal. That's not the thing. You have to know how to stand for a councillor. You have to know how to become a chief minister. You have to know how to become a president of the country. I think every single person needs to know that. Or at least the next generation needs to know that. Because that's when they know how these guys got there. Right? That's when they get to know how these guys got there and are they worthy. Unless you are able to scale, unless you are able to gauge if the person is worthy or not, what gives you the right to call yourself an Indian? Unless you're exercising your vote wisely, you don't have you don't have the right to call yourself a proper citizen at all. And forget even asking for rights from the government. And then if you just want to be part of a club, then how is that right? The first thing, if you want to be a part of a club, be a part of a club which actually gives you civic sense, which actually teaches you good governance, which tells you how to choose people who can actually govern you, right? Who can actually set the tone for your next generation. You should actually know, at least teach your next generation to choose wisely. Right? I think that is where, coming from 27 Irula houses, about 2 crores you've spent on community housing and on community halls and homes, whereas the government of Tamil Nadu is spending 5.5 lakhs on SC housing. And if you just told us, then we would have built that on our money, and you could have spent this money somewhere else. Like how? You ask me how. I'll tell you could have built a ITI for the Irulas, right? Mechanize that ITI. All of you are industrialists. Put your equipment on that ITI, on that industrial training institute. Make sure that the Irula kids who come out of there are certified or skilled with a skilling certificate, which I in turn can give to my industry and say, here, look at this. You can you can tick up your inclusivity box by adding a few Irula kids who are actually skilled and certified. Now that is good governance. Right? And I think that's where Rotary and everybody else who's into the service into services should actually look at. And I think that's where you should be heading. I love the way you did polio. I mean, that is something humongous. That every one of you should be totally proud of. That was Rotary in its entire sense, right? But then the government stepped in, but it was Rotary which actually did it. So that is something which we are all very proud of, and you should all be very, very proud of it. But after that, this understanding is what is missing, and that is why you are not able to do anything. You also said people in Dubai will be speaking about what is happening here today. I think people in Dubai have better things, even very, very difficult things to talk about today. So, yeah, thanks to President Trump. And I think we also here have several good things, several other things to talk about here. Thanks to President Trump, tariff issues have been messing up India's entire trajectory. The government of Tamil Nadu has written continuously to the Union Ministry to look at urgent needs of the textile industry, of the seafood industry, of every industry that has been touched by tariffs. But government of India thinks the jewelry industry is more important. That is where the people of Tamil Nadu have a problem with Delhi. Delhi doesn't seem to know who's got. Of course, there's lots of labor involved in the jewelry industry. I don't have a problem with that. But why isn't the textile industry getting the same amount of attention? Why not the seafood industry, where all the fisher folk are getting affected? That's perishable goods. Gold can stay. Gold is in fact adding value. It's increasing value. You can wait. Right? Those who own gold, who are working on gold, they could wait. You've given cars and bikes to your workers in the past. They can wait, but not the fisher folk. And that's where inclusivity comes. That's where the Dravidian model of inclusive politics comes from, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about what everybody else has been talking about. It's about real inclusive growth. And that is why today, in all of India, while India is growing at 6.9%, Tamil Nadu is growing at 11.19%. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the only state to grow with double digits. This is the only state to grow with double digits. And I will just close by saying why we are doing double digits. So it's a very simple explanation. Tamil Nadu has been inclusive for the longest time, thanks to Periyar and Anna and Kalaignar and all these amazing leaders that we've had, including Madam Jayalalitha and MGR and everybody else. It's just that we've stuck to a policy. We've stuck to policy being built on education. We've stuck to policy on inclusive education. We've made sure that the women of Tamil Nadu are empowered. And that is why you take any indices across India, we will always be double of India. It's simple math. We just empowered the rest of the population. Well, half of India is only looking at half of this population. Tamil Nadu looked at it with its entirety. And that is why you see states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu doing phenomenally well. Karnataka could have done better. Andhra could have done better. But they still haven't done that. Little bit, yes, but then they still haven't covered the entire gamut. But Tamil Nadu and Kerala, we've done that in its entirety. We've empowered the entire population. That is why when 6.9 is possible in India, 11.19 is very easily possible in Tamil Nadu. Very soon we'll see more than 13 or 14% growth. And this is possible because of the inclusive, distributed growth that we bring on. I'll just add one more line. I have too many things here that Ram, my team, has added in my speech. I'm not going to go into that. I never do, but I don't know why he keeps giving me these things. Because I feel that speaking from my heart is better than anyway, we're going to take questions, so I'll fill in with that. I'll just talk about distributed growth. See, Tamil Nadu is the only state which balances both manufacturing and services. And that's why I want to put this out here. Services gives you lots of jobs. Manufacturing adds value to that entire ecosystem, right? And manufacturing is important because manufacturing is what gives you MSMEs. And MSMEs, again, jobs. So Tamil Nadu is the one state. This state is growing, booming massively because our leaders have always trusted and made sure that we care more about jobs and the number of jobs and where these jobs are going rather than the number of the quantum of investment that comes into Tamil Nadu. While other states, I don't want to name them, but while other states are talking about 30, 40 lakh, 50 lakh crores, in fact, some are talking about 30 lakh crores over 3 days in a foreign country, but sitting there and signing MOUs with people from their own state capital, I wouldn't want to do that. But we are only doing modest numbers, but our conversion rate is at 80%, 83%. While 30 to 40% of conversion of investments into jobs is considered amazing, we in Tamil Nadu are doing 83%. Now that is what comes out only if you pick and choose those who are actually going to come into being, right? We take the Japanese route, and this is what we do. We choose investments and we find out where these investments grow. So it's not only about investment number, it's not only about the jobs, it's about where these jobs are being created and what kind of jobs are coming in. We make sure that we have tech jobs coming in from the young youth, highly talented youth of Tamil Nadu, and we are also making sure that these jobs are high-end jobs, not your usual everyday jobs, because this state is highly educated. This state is filled with highly educated people, and we want to make sure that these highly educated kids find jobs closer to their homes, and this gives us high quality jobs. I'll come to what comes from high quality jobs later. Now, after this comes the massive population of women, semi-skilled, even unskilled. We can still give them jobs via non-leather footwear. So look at the sectors we're choosing. We're choosing non-leather footwear for women in the rural areas. We're making sure that 20, 30,000 women get jobs close to their homes. One place, one shop, one work floor, one factory gives us 20,000 non-leather footwear jobs. And we have all these non-leather footwear factories across Tamil Nadu now. Taking growth and putting it all across Tamil Nadu. So if you can close your eyes and put your finger on the map of Tamil Nadu, you will find a fantastic factory there with women working in hordes there, and with fantastic social infrastructure and fantastic infrastructure in any form, and fantastic connectivity. Thanks to the 58,000 crores then, this 12.5 lakh crores is also possible today. That does not mean he's done better, I've done better. But of course, our great leaders laid the foundation. And that is what we are here for. Ensure that the foundation is staying strong and build upon it, right? And this government, this state has been able to do that continuously because of policy continuity. It is policy continuity, right? This policy continuity has ensured that no investment that comes in during one regime is rejected in the next one. Anybody from Andhra Pradesh here? You'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this happens in all other states in India, but never ever in Tamil Nadu. Never ever have we had a problem of policy discontinuity. Then, as I said, finally, distributed growth, making sure that we pick sectors that go across Tamil Nadu, make sure that we give jobs across Tamil Nadu, gives us, it's a churning effect on the rural economy, which in turn churns the entire state, and then you get that magic number, which is a double-digit growth and being the #1 state in India. I'll finish with the high quality jobs. We are setting up for what we call Dravida Model 2.0, and what we have in mind, if and when that loads, we sure be looking, it looks good, but anything can happen in politics, but then we are keeping our options open and we are actually building on it. What we do want to see is Tamil Nadu being the knowledge capital of India. And we want to be the hub for manufacturing and services for the global south, not for India. Tamil Nadu has never felt, I don't consider other states in India as our competition. We only consider other countries in the world as our competition. I can tell you, I can give you numbers, it will take a long time, but I can tell you if you want to ask. So the vision that we have is to make Tamil Nadu the hub for the global south. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I want you to take away from this meeting here. I want you to talk about how you can be the hub, the manufacturing hub for the global south, how we can export healthcare to the Middle East or to Latin America or to Africa or to Southeast Asia itself. Many of them coming from UK now. The loads, you know how the NHS works there. If you want to just get an X-ray, it takes about a minimum of a month or so. So everybody knows that, and that too, if our doctors are available there, it still has to be Indians who are doing the job there. So everybody from around the world are coming here. We are the healthcare capital of almost half the world now, because we have fantastic hospitals. We can build on that also. So I'm just saying that what we want to do now is become product nation TN. Now, product nation is the way forward. Knowledge economy, we tap into that, make sure that we start building our own products for the world. And this is what our Honorable Prime Minister also wants. This is what he calls Atmanirbhar Bharat, even though half of our population does not understand what he's saying. I sort of agree with what he wants to do. Because I'm happy with, see, the problem is he doesn't communicate it well, he doesn't want to communicate with us properly in the route that is available. But the things that they want to do, because I was very, very open when I spoke to the press when it came to the tariffs. I told everybody, and this comes from my Chief Minister itself, that the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu will stand hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder with the Prime Minister of India when it comes to tariffs. Because this is between two countries. There has to be zero politics when it comes to this. And there has to be zero politics, absolutely. Comes straight from the heart. Because when we are fighting, especially somebody who like President Trump, who has a new thought every single morning, depending upon the temperature of his coffee, then we really have a problem, and we really have to make sure that we stand together. And I think we'll have to wait through the next 3 years of President Trump's presidency. But I think the world later on should be a bit more brighter. I don't like the things that are happening in the world. Nobody likes war, and I think as people of India, we're all. I know the Prime Minister of India today has a very, very difficult task. He was in Israel yesterday. Several conspiracy theories are floating around. But as somebody who understands diplomacy, I know it's a very, very difficult time for the Prime Minister's office to handle this. And anybody sitting in the external affairs, it's a tremendously harsh climate out there. So I can understand, but of course this is election year, so I'll have to leave it at that. So I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the only state which has inclusive distributed growth, and we're extremely proud that we are the only state which can actually pull off being the knowledge capital of India. And I want all your support in being the knowledge capital of India and also being product nation TN. That can only happen if you trust in governance. If you trust in governance, and that can only happen if this dialogue keeps going. So let's keep this dialogue going. Nandri, Vanakkam.
This evening's theme of progress and partnership finds its perfect expression in our chief guest. Minister Sir, I'm sure you have succeeded in breaking the stereotypes of how we view politics and politicians. Isn't that so, friends? We can see that our state is in safe hands of young statesmen raring to go. Thank you, Minister. Conversations create clarity, and today we have the opportunity for a meaningful dialogue. To moderate this session, it gives me great pleasure to invite Rotarian Chakri from the Rotary Club of Chen.AI, Kilpauk. Chakravarti Lokapriya holds an MBA from the New York University Stern School of Business and is deeply engaged in industry, policy, and civic initiatives. He has invested over $12 billion working with JP Morgan, New York, and BNP Paribas in London. Rotarian Chakri, may I request you to kindly come on to the stage and lead this session? Thank you. Oh, you're already there. Thank you.
Good evening, thank you. And it's a great privilege, Dr. Rajaa, you've done phenomenally well for the state. He is credited in bringing significant amount of investments from around the globe by branding policy stability, expanding into sunrise sectors, as well as expanding the new, where the growth of Tamil Nadu is going to come from. And all these initiatives has placed Tamil Nadu the fastest growing state. With that, what we've done is compiled a bunch of questions from the audience. So feel free to address those which are appropriate as you see fit. Thanks. So maybe
He wants to ask. Yeah. You want to start here and then?
No, yeah.
Okay. No, I don't have a problem. Yeah. If you want to just shoot.
Yeah, we compiled all the questions here.
No problem. You can go with whatever.
Okay. So basically what I think we'll pick up where you just left off is you have achieved the fastest growth, manufacturing industrial growth, way above India's average. And in the last 5 years, the growth has been consistently very high numbers. What are the structural enablers and institutional changes that have enabled these things to happen? And as you reload 2.0, what would you like to do?
Thank you. So first of all, enablers, I would say I wouldn't just say that, it's just something which we've done from 21, right? I would definitely credit people who've done this in 1921 also, right? This goes back to the Justice Party. And when the Justice Party took over in Tamil Nadu, they ensured that impetus for education was given. And I think because of that foundational strength that we have, via the foundations laid 100 years back. So this kind of growth cannot happen with just policy intervention that takes within like 5-6 years or so, right? So it's taken us a good 100 years. That's why I know that other states can't catch up, because it's taken us 100 years. And it's going to take a good amount of decades for other states to catch up, but we'd love to see other states catch up. I'll tell you why. Because we very strongly believe only a very, very advanced, fast-growing India can ensure a sustained growth for Tamil Nadu also. We are also a very, we are an aging population, we're a very advanced population, just like any developed country, like say Japan or Germany. We are also an aging population, right? And we want to correct that. Our TFR is a bit iffy, so we really want to correct that. But that said, the impetus that Chief Minister M.K. Stalin Avargal has given via small interventions, right? It might look small, but it's been effective. interventions can be small, but the effectiveness, that's the multiplier there. So what happens is, when, like say, I'll stick to my department a lot. Right, say in my department, when we get in investments, as I told you, well, conversion rate of 30-40% is considered phenomenal elsewhere in the world. How are we doing 83%? How are we doing 73% overall? It is because we have a committee. We have a committee where myself as the Minister for Industries and the Chief Secretary of Tamil Nadu, and all the top secretaries of Tamil Nadu sit in one table, right? In just one table, we have the sessions where all these clearances done practically single window. While other states are talking about single window, Tamil Nadu truly has a single window system where almost 200 plus clearances are single window. You just have to go to Guidance Tamil Nadu and tell them you want to do this kind of a factory, I want to start up this services industry, this manufacturing industry, and they'll lead you, they'll handhold you and make sure that they take all the details from you, tell you where to go, what sort of forms to fill, what sort of data to give, and what sort of clearances to get, and they'll also make sure that these clearances are given, right? And we've also made sure ease of doing business, we are today #1 in India. And we've been rated by several international agencies to be the #1 state in India to do ease of doing business, not like yesterday and last year, till 2029. These are projected. So till 2029, Tamil Nadu is the #1 state to do business in India, as per several international agencies, not just us, right? And consistently, Delhi also says Tamil Nadu is the best state for ease of doing business, right? So all of these are the enablers. But I must say, not just this, it's the foundation that we're standing on. So yeah, it's all of that.
I guess this actually addresses one of the questions.
I'll tell you what 2.0 you asked for. What are we going to build upon from here? So because we've done enabling ease of doing business, what we really want to do, as I said, is to go on to being Product Nation TN. So that was the last one that I spoke about. Product Nation TN is a big dream, and I think that is where every one of you need to start. I'll tell you why intervention from AI is going to be a huge disruptor. Now, what as people of Chen.AI, do you know that we've renamed Chennai as Chen.AI? Yeah. So we have to, as people of Chen.AI, we have to start becoming a population enabled by AI. And this is also going to be something which this government is going to look at. And we're really going to have population scale AI enabled people. So that is something which we are looking at. Good governance enabled by AI, better outcome, Product Nation TN, that is DM 2.0.
And one of the things that you have been credited with is this balanced narrative of manufacturing and innovation. And now that you say Chen.AI, in the 2.0, Tamil Nadu has these traditional manufacturing clusters. So how do you integrate, and what are your plans of Chen.AI into manufacturing?
Yeah, so there's two things. One, when we talk about manufacturing, Tamil Nadu has been the manufacturing king. We've been the #1 for the longest time. What we really want to do, ensure, is that we are also the quality capital. We already are the quality capital, but we want to beat the Japanese at their game. Even today, many of the electronic clusters here are much better than Japan. I don't know if most of you will believe it, but that is the truth. Many Japanese companies are today coming to Sriperumbudur to learn how these kids here are doing 0 parts per billion. Not million, they're doing 0 parts per billion. They're coming here, and now these guys are saying that I've seen Taiwan, I've seen Japan, and this is mind-boggling. So they are now learning from factories in Tamil Nadu, from India. So we are becoming the quality capital of India also, of the world also. We slowly but steadily, we want to beat the Germans, we want to beat the Japanese, and I think we'll do that by also ensuring that our local industrialists grow and they learn how to do this. And we are already, I can tell you very clearly, through Venu Srinivasan Avargal, he's doing a fantastic initiative with IFQM. So they are with heads from Bosch and all these amazing institutions, and they're trying to enable more assimilation of knowledge with for top CEOs. That's where I differ with them. I keep saying that you can't just enable top CEOs and ask them to percolate this thing top down. I keep saying that you'll have to go from schools itself. I think we have to embed quality as a way of life in school education. And this is something which I've been personally pushing, and I think I'll pull it off in DM 2.0. We will see quality as an enabler, and quality as not cost, as not costly, but as cost saving. You know, that thought process is very important for a society which needs to grow rapidly, right? Quality can never be costly; it has to be cost effective. That should mean that somewhere down the line you're going to save cost on quality. So that is something which we want to embed in school education itself. So all of this is something which we are coming through in DM 2.2. So yeah, I think that's roughly answers your question.
It's very interesting that you say that, because Tamil Nadu has one of the highest enrollments into higher education. You have a highly skilled people coming out of the college systems, and you have a strong industrial manufacturing base. So how do you marry these two to accelerate the growth?
Yeah, I don't know how many of you know, but we are far better than the US when it comes to GER. The US, the gross enrollment ratio of the United States is about 41%. Tamil Nadu is 53%. This is exactly why we hate the NEP. Because the NEP wants to do 50 some 20 years after today. But we are already doing it. The new education policy wants India to do 50% plus some 20, 30 years after today. But we're just saying, hey, hello, Delhi, listen, we've already done that, right? So it's that understanding that we want Delhi to actually get. Delhi has never understood Tamil Nadu. It's never been about BJP. It's also Congress. It's also whoever is sitting in Delhi. Delhi has never understood Tamil Nadu. That is what it is. Absolutely right. I mean, that clap comes straight from his heart. So I know that. So that's the fact. I mean, that's the fact. Delhi has never understood Tamil Nadu. So I keep saying that we're very, very vociferous about this. And we just want them to see. And Delhi has a inability to understand Tamil Nadu. I'll tell you why. I'm sure all of you, let's say if your mother tongue is Tamil, and you just learned English later, right? You're constantly thinking in Tamil and then talking in English, right? If you're from, let's say, UP or Bihar, if you're thinking in Hindi and talking in Tamil, right? In English, right? Or whenever possible in English for people there. So it's just that I'm saying that disconnect, right? If you jump languages, the translation is, I mean, the concept vanishes in a very mildly, but there is some parts of it missing. That is why we keep saying we want to protect our mother tongue. Every single language, ladies and gentlemen, is humongously pregnant with the knowledge of eons, of ages of our culture and things that we've gone through, things that we've learned, how we went through wars, how we went through all these beautiful times of wealth, and how we've lost everything and then got back everything. How we learned agriculture, what to do, what not to do, when to do. Even names of fruits. I don't know how many of you are from, if some of you have roots in the, yeah, Rajasthan, I know some of you have. There's a fruit called bel, which I love, okay? I don't know what the thing is called in Tamil. And bale juice is fantastic, but Tamils don't use bale juice. Yeah, Vilambalam. Vilambalam தான் அங்க வேற மாதிரி இருக்குது. அங்க வேற மாதிரி இருக்கு. So I mean, and then there's so many words that it is just carried by that language. Why would you want to miss that data? Today, data scientists all over the world want to listen to everything that you want to say. And you in India, sitting in India, with this treasure trove of data, embedded into these thousands of languages, want to just throw it all out and put it into a language which is just 300, 200 years old. How is that right? This is the question. We don't have a problem with Hindi. I speak kuch to bol deta hu main. So I speak a little bit of English, Hindi. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem learning Hindi. It's just that why would you want to enforce that? Why would you want to force it onto us? And that has, I can see many of my other languages, Maithili and all these other languages all across India vanishing right before my eyes. I don't want Tamil to lose that. And we've stuck to 5,300 years of continuity. We don't want to miss that. So all of this is part of the game.
And talking about missing out, semiconductors is an area is something that we've lost out in the state.
No. I'll tell you why. We didn't lose out anything. India has lost out the chance to utilize India's Tamil Nadu's capabilities to produce the best semiconductors in the world. That is what has happened. And today, yesterday, Prime Minister Modi avargal opened Micron. Micro was supposed to come here, right? And people in Micron know that. And I know what people in Micron told us after a week or 10 days after going to where they are today. I don't want to say what they said after they went there, but they felt really bad. But we want that to succeed. I'll tell you what my problem is. My problem is not that he's taking, Delhi is taking investment. It's not he. I keep reiterating this. It is not the BJP. It is always Delhi. Okay? It is not just the BJP. It is not just the BJP. It's also Delhi. So I don't have a problem with you taking investments across, from other states into another state. I don't have a problem. Good if it thrives, right? Because only if that investment thrives will the next fella come into India. We're doing the hard job of bringing these fellows to India and making sure that they understand us and make sure that they feel comfortable to be in India. And then we go to Delhi for the PLI. And then Delhi says, no, if you want to get the PLI, which is like 40-50% of what you're going to get as incentives, then you go to this state and then that's when we can give. Then they come back to us and say, Delhi இப்படி சொல்றாங்க. They say, we don't have a problem, go. But I'll tell you why. These things, all of these high-end investments, they need talent to run. Which other state can give you talent? Tamil Nadu is the talent capital of India, 150,000 engineers every single year. No other state comes even close to that vicinity of being Tamil Nadu in that part. So what we are doing now, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the capital of talent being supplied into all of these semiconductor ecosystems. We are building, there's a movie, the Nayagan or Padam, ambulance varadu. So they said, naal vaangurom, namakku mattum dhaan odum. And the mari, what we've done now is, we've said, okay, you can take the investments here. We never cared about investments. We never cared about investments. My chief minister never cared about investments. It's the jobs that these investments bring. So what we've done now, ladies and gentlemen, is we've bought our own fab. We bought our own inch fab where we will train the talent that is here in Tamil Nadu. Now these talented young minds from IITs and all the university engineering colleges all across Tamil Nadu will be trained in this COV, it's a Center of Excellence in IIT Madras. IIT Madras, ladies and gentlemen, is the only institution in India which has created India's only indigenous chip. So you should keep in mind, Delhi is not ready to give a chip manufacturing unit to the state which actually created a chip for India. Gross injustice? I'll leave it to you. So now what we said is, okay, I don't mind, but what I care about is the jobs that get these units now. Now, Tamil Nadu will be the state which gives you all the talent that is needed to run all these semiconductor units wherever you want to. But we'll have the best talents going into all these institutions. We don't have a problem. So we are trying to, take it as it comes. We don't have a problem. But I must say, one last pitch for Tamil Nadu on why this semiconductor, why I'm very particular about semiconductor. Huge power consumption, huge water, ultra pure water. I don't think it's a sensible thing to do. But for the only thing that it is national security. We have very good friends all across our borders in North India. Not that our south, the one next to us here near Tamil Nadu is also a very good friend. I should ask my friends in Beijing. But we need to be secure. This is about national security. This is not about one state vying for investments, ladies and gentlemen. It's about Tamil Nadu telling Delhi, listen up. If you're going to put all your eggs, your semiconductor eggs in the north of India, close to all these ICBMs across the border, what if, right? You need assets down south. India is a humongously large country. You need to have everything in north of India and everything in the south of India also. That is how sensible governance works. And this is what we're saying, we're telling Delhi that you will not be wise if you put all your eggs into one basket. You want to give jobs to the north of India? Be my friend, fantastic. We'll give you all the investment. We'll also pitch for you investments in, we have the best investment promotion agency in India. So we'll help you. We don't have a problem. In fact, Invest India, comes to Guidance Tamil Nadu to learn. I'm not joking. We have the best investment promotion agency in India. Invest India comes to Guidance Tamil Nadu to learn about investment promotion. But that said, we teach them. We teach them a bit. They don't understand much. So, and what happens is, we don't have a problem giving you all this. But make sure that you plan wisely for India. This is what I'm saying.
That's wonderful.
So, but given that, we've already getting the semiconductor ecosystem in. Whenever the next fab comes, I'm hoping Delhi will also wise up. Given today's the political situation, I think Delhi will probably wise up very soon.
Yeah, wonderfully put.
In Congress.
Yeah, wonderfully put, and we have the talent pool too. And talking about what you just said, now all these initiatives require huge amounts of power, electricity, and whether it's thermal or any other source, what are the various state agencies you think will provide that enablers to?
Tamil Nadu is already 57% green. We want to be 75%. So all of you, any investors here, please look at investing into green energy. We don't have that much land. Land is a problem anywhere in Tamil Nadu. So you must look at more of wind. And wind, again, we have a repowering policy already in. And we are also trying to open up the humongous capacity offshore. Right, 60 gigs plus of offshore wind to be unlocked here and in Gujarat. See, when it comes to renewables, Gujarat has huge swaths of land, and Delhi is also very happily opening up all our bordering places very close to Pakistan. I don't know why, but they're opening that also. And Ran of Kutch, that I have a very green finger. I don't know why they're opening up the Ran of Kutch. The Kutch is a phenomenally beautiful ecosystem, and it's extremely sensitive. I don't know why they're opening it up, but they have lakhs of acres of land, dry land, wasteland. Let them do it. They're doing it. Lots of refineries, lots of all that. See, this is exactly what Tamil Nadu can do. When you're taking investments out of Tamil Nadu, you can take all the cracking units to Gujarat. We don't have a problem. High gross value added. Oil comes in, huge value addition. I am happy, don't worry, take it. But it doesn't give me good jobs, right? And it's also very polluting. So it's very, it's sensitive. So I don't have a problem going to the deserts of Gujarat or Rajasthan and happily do that. And people are not affected and good jobs created for them. I don't have a problem. I can't do that in Tamil Nadu. So you can take that. I don't have a problem. But semiconductors, different ball game, right? But as I said, energy, we need a lot of help. We also want to go the green hydrogen way. Now, green hydrogen is not green unless you're using pump storage. So, I don't know if many of you who are in the energy sector, you'll understand why green hydrogen is not green unless there's pump storage. So, there's continuity of energy. And there's also a problem with grid stability, right? Because solar peaks in the morning and then drops. And then wind again peaks for 4 months and drops. So, the grid has to take it. So we are working on making sure you will see we have the best grid infra now. We have also split our energy department, energy infra into three energy companies into three: a green company and the distribution company and all of that. But that said, we need more help in modernizing the grid. If you're investing into modernizing the grid, please do that. Tamil Nadu will be buying it. Tamil Nadu will soon be buying a lot of battery, lot of storage. So storage is a big game. Please invest into storage. That is a big game. And also into electrolyzers, because the world has still not discounted hydrogen. So all of this could be a game for all of you here. So we are ensuring grid stability, and I'm sure you also understand that if we understand this, there must be some work going on there.
On that topic, you've done a phenomenal job in electric vehicles, the largest manufacturer in India. And now you're talking about battery storage and energy storage. So what are the enablers that you think will enable this momentum that you have will increase?
In manufacturing EVs, I don't know how many of you know, 70% of all the two-wheelers that are sold in India are manufactured in Tamil Nadu. And 40% of all the four-wheelers sold in India are manufactured in Tamil Nadu again. 90% of all the iPhones that all of you have manufactured in Tamil Nadu now, if you have this latest one. So this is the numbers that Tamil Nadu is churning out. 41% of all of India's electronics exports, again, Tamil Nadu. So we are up there in that game. We are the best in electronics. We are the best in auto for the longest time. 42% of all of auto components exported, Tamil Nadu again. So we are very, very clear about what our capabilities are, and we are building on that. EV, we will be going up the value chain. Anything that we are good at, we are also trying to add more clustering also. So we're making sure that all the EV clustering happens in Hosuru, in Sriperumburam. We are also, because of the distributed growth angle, we are also doing Thoothukudi. So, and Thoothukudi, ladies and gentlemen, if you have, think of any assets, if you want to expand deeper into Tamil Nadu, you should look at Tirunelveli and Thoothukudi. Massive expansion coming in. Yeah, to also the real estate guys here, please do look at Thoothukudi.
Dr. Rajaa.
Also, if somebody with golf, if you want to put up a few greens somewhere in Chennai will help the Koreans. The Koreans are also going to Thoothukudi soon. Massive shipbuilding cluster coming there. So look at that also.
I have a bunch of more questions, but I've been told that you're out of time.
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
If you're not late for dinner, I can take a few more. If you let them ask, I think they wanted to ask. I think it's better because otherwise half of them will start sleeping.
Yeah, I think we can take
so,
one or two questions from
friends,
the audience.
Due to paucity of time, maybe as our minister is, happy to answer a few questions, we can open the floor for questions, but I request your questions to be very brief, relevant, so that we can accommodate as many voices as possible. Just questions, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Sterlite closure wiped out 30% of India's copper production. What steps are you taking to actually revive it?
Okay, see the problem is, as I said, I don't have a problem with copper production itself, but the way it was produced is the problem. It was hugely polluting. There's no second thought in it, and I thought you did see Government of India get in an intervention trying to bring in copper. Adani invested it heavily into Gujarat. They pulled out too, right? They pulled out. I don't think they're doing it anymore. But see, there is a very fine balancing act that we need to do. We are one of the greenest states in India also. We have a coverage of about 23% of our state is now green. We want to go up to 33%. You know, that's a massive greening effort. It's 11,500 square kilometers of greening, which is larger than a few countries in the world, many countries in the world, right? So that is the kind of vision that we have. We have a 2060 target for net zero. I must say I'm not a big fan of net zero and all that. The white man trying to put his burden on India, I think it's complete rubbish. And I think we as a country we have to grow beyond that. But we have to be choosy. We just can't say what these guys are going to tell us. And that is why I'm saying the larger picture, India has to write its own policy and not listen to the Firangi coming here and telling us what policy needs to be. And that is why I started in the beginning, that all of us need to understand what governance is about. Only then you choose good lawmakers who understand what policy is and get good policy written. So coming back to your topic, copper is needed in a big way. There is a large demand, but doesn't mean that you can just pollute an entire state and then give for the rest of India. We will look at other avenues, and I think this is a game that Government of India has to play. Probably get a few smelters into Gujarat or Rajasthan, where there's a lot of dry area and land and water from desal available, and we should also look at securing our own ore. I think this is where India also missed out its mining. It's its own raw material issue. I think we're late into the game. China did a phenomenal job. It took out all the assets from across the world. It brought out half of almost 3/4 of Africa. Where India should have done a better job. We were closer to Africa than China. I don't know why. China just laid a few roads and then they took out all the wealth from Africa. But we should have done a better deal with Africa. Even now it's not late. If Delhi thinks it's right, we can still take ore from Australia or from Africa, do a bit of refining, do a bit of value addition right there in Australia and Africa, and then get the rest of it into India. Then possibly yes.
Yeah. Next question, Mr. Mohan
Rama. Honorable Minister, one piece of information before my question. The first information is that You were talking so much about we are number one, we are number one. I'd like to happily share with you this information that 51% of all Rotarians in India owe their origin to the Rotary Club of Madras. The second is, I'd like to know more about Dr. Rajaa. I'm consciously avoiding the initial. What are your passions? Do you listen to music? What do you read? What do you do? Other than when you're not doing politics or such meetings.
No, all of us in politics perennially. That is something all of us should understand. We can never be not in politics. Everybody thinks, yeah, you politics theriyadu. But you are always in politics. You don't know it. You just don't. You're not waking up to it. So we are always there in politics. Every one of us. But as wants to know the other side of me, what if a person in this responsibility, then I would be stargazing most of the time. I love astronomy, and I love many other things. I love the forest. I love the forest. I would have been rolling around in Parambikulam. Sports, I was a cricketer in college a bit. But of course, I'm a shooter. I love trap shooting. My daughter happens to be a gold medalist at the national level. She's a national gold medalist.
One of our Rotarians' daughters is also into pistols. No?
Yeah.
Shakti Girish, if she's here.
Okay, many shooters here, lovely. Okay.
And Nalini, one of our Rotarians herself is a national shooter.
Oh wow, hi ma'am, how are you doing? Good to see you. So yeah, shooting is a passion.
What kind of music?
Every kind of music. In fact, I don't know how do you think it's weird. I have this. I love Rajaa. I mean, who doesn't love Rajaa and who doesn't? I love Rajaa.
Who doesn't love Rajaa?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Of course. and of course not just Rajaa. I'm just a rock fan and a Rajaa fan put together.
So Deep Purple.
Yeah, no, more of Def Leppard though.
Def Leppard. Okay.
So I of course Deep Leppard. I do have a favorite in Deep Purple also, but then more of a Def Leppard guy. But that said, I love. I don't know how many of this have this radio garden, but chinna app radio garden. You can just tune into any goddamn FM around the world. Try that sometime. I love tuning into FM and you know நம்ம பழைய air இருக்குல்ல, that static coda and the
music
and you listen to that old ghazals and all with static. You get that going on and then you get in the background. That I don't know, somehow just I think it's the AR effect.
Yep.
It's not the AR effect. It's the AIR effect when you grew up listening into all the tuning into all this radio. And I think just being able to listen into somebody who's just thousands of miles away, and it gives you that perspective in life, right? That's it, right? So that's why I love astronomy, because it keeps reminding you that you're absolutely nothing compared to the vastness of the world.
Green,
right?
blue dot.
Yeah, totally Sagan. I love Sagan too. So it's I must tell you, when you're in politics and when you get the responsibility and you see the national flag and you see a few policemen saluting, as long as you remember that the policeman is saluting the flag and not you, then I think you stay grounded. Right. I think that's the problem. The thing is, people think they're saluting you. Our armed forces should salute the President of India, being the Commander-in-Chief. Our police should only salute the Chief Minister, because he holds the police department. Beyond that, everybody else should understand that the armed forces and the police are saluting the flag and not the person in the car. So as long as you have that in your heart, you stay grounded, and as long as you ensure that you carry your own luggage in airports, you're absolutely fine. And I think that everything else will just fall into perspective. And that's what the vastness of space also gives you every single day, every single night actually.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rotarian Mohan Raman, for bringing that side of our minister to us. Thank you so much. The last question for the day.
Thank you. Thanks for the question, and we've already started working on that. I don't know if you noticed, we've renamed TITCO as the venture catalyst. I did that once I took over, because I think TITCO has a huge opportunity. It's just that, you know, people, it's the trust factor. People risk எடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. Saying இல்ல எதுக்கு risk, இவங்க இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணா அது சரியாக ஏதாவது சொல்லுவாங்க கதை. So it's just the problem with the trust, that the trust deficit between people and people in governance, right? I think that trust deficit has to go. முன்னாடி வந்து there was no understanding of the whole thing, so people just did it. But now people have understanding, but there's no trust. So the trust deficit has to go. This is why I'm saying cinema கூட இப்போ வந்து ரொம்ப யதார்த்தமாயிடுச்சு. இன்னமும் பாலிட்டிஷியன் வந்து காட்டு பங்களா வச்சுட்டு இருப்பான், இது பண்ணுவான், அது பண்ணுவான், வந்து ரவுடி இது பண்ணுவான், அது இதுன்னு எல்லா பாலிட்டிஷியனை பார்த்து இதே கதையை விட்டு எத்தனை நாள் தான் இதே பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பீங்க. And you should also see how governance happens and talk about, and I think responsible cinema also needs to start to portray politicians, the lawmaker in the right light, and people have to start understanding. We've given you the right to question. Periyar gave all of us, the people of Tamil Nadu, the right to question, right? How is Tamil Nadu here today? It is because this entire population is enabled not by education, not just to study and grow. It's to study and start questioning your lawmaker. That is the difference. This population is empowered to question its lawmaker, and that is why the lawmakers can't deviate too much away. கொஞ்சம் அப்படி போனால் தட்டிடுவாங்க மக்கள், டாபால்னு தட்டி திருப்பி கொண்டு வந்துடுவாங்க உள்ள. So that, and this is what this chief minister understands very clearly. He knows that the people are people பார்க்குறாங்க, and they know what they wanted. So he keeps in touch with them, learns from them, and he keeps coming back. He doesn't need the people to put him back on track. He's always on track because he understands the people, and he's always in contact with the people. And I think people also need to take an effort to start to understand your lawmaker and make sure that you either bring them back on track and make sure that you pat them on the back when they are actually on track. The patting on the back is the best part. What we really need is lawmakers to be told that, hey, you're doing a great job. At least people like us feel that that's something which we really want, because we earn for that, we look for that, right? We look for that one small one. I love it when people just walk past me saying Raja Subra Pandra po. I love it, and I love it when all these aged, people who really don't reach out to politicians, then they just come and several. I have letters from seat number 29B from across the aisle who just say you're doing a great job, thank you, and all that. It is such a sweet thing, right? And this is all we work for. And people like us, and there are many like us today, and like me, and who understand and who value that one single word saying you're doing a good job. And I think that makes us toil that extra hour that the next day, right? So I think that's a phenomenal thing, and I think people need to connect more with policy makers and say, this is right, but this could have been better, and we are all here to listen. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for patiently responding to all the questions. Great job, Rotarian Chakravarti Lokapriya. Thank you so much.
You have been wonderful. Thank you.
An inspiring evening. All is well that ends well. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Madras and Rotary Club of Chennai Keel Park, it's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. from Kolkata. It is a pleasure to host you. As I invite our President to introduce the best of your president.
To kindly felicitate our Honorable Minister, District Governor and past Rotary International Director. Thank you, Khalid Sir. We warmly welcome you to our joint meeting, sir. Thank you. Rotarian Mikit, it's now your privilege to welcome our special guest. Rotarian Karthik Surendran, President of Rotary Club of Chen.AI, Bob, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, Honorable Minister Shri TRB Rajaa of RCM and RCCK. On behalf of our club, I extend a warm not only to connect with one another but also to learn, grow, and esteemed speaker with us who will share who know in our country. Meetings like this remind us that knowledge shared is service multiplied. Through dialogue and understanding, we sharpen our vision and renew our dedication to making us. We hope you experience the warmth of Rotary Fellowship and feel inspiredly, engage thoughtfully, and continue building a Rotary community.
To healthcare, and already in the last 2 years we have installed 200 dialysis machines in various government hospitals. We have done the HPV vaccination for more than 10,000 girl children. And during the pandemic, we were very proactive to be hand in hand supporting the government through various vaccination program, oxygen concentrators and other things. And we have 7 focus areas in Rotary, and we have been doing a lot of work on environment, tree plantation, lake restoration, pond restoration, projects like this which are very much needed. And we are working intensively with Institute of Child Health, where very critical equipments are being provided for. In Saidapet Hospital, government hospital, we are doing a blood bank. We are already running about 24 dialysis machines there, and now we are planning to start a blood bank there. So Rotarians are large-hearted business leaders, and a lot of CSR contributions come to make projects possible. And our Rotary Foundation, which is an international body, joins hand wherever projects are of good impact, and this makes Rotary very effective and impactful. So we are looking forward to your talk, sir, but keep Rotary as your partner in service to society. We are always there. So thank you very much for your presence, and we are looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you. We have amongst us a Rotarian whose journey reflects the very spirit of service above self. Rotarians and distinguished guests, it's my privilege to introduce a senior Rotary leader who exemplifies leadership with humility and service with purpose. Past Rotary International Director, Rotarian Aniruddha Roy Chowdhury from the Rotary Club of Calcutta Megacity is an accomplished entrepreneur and engineer, leading enterprises in digital imaging, healthcare diagnostics, and medical 3D printing, employing over 250 people. In Rotary, his journey has been equally distinguished. from being a charter member in 1994 to serving as district governor of the Unified India Nepal district, and of course as Rotary International Director for 2023-24. Record contribution to the Rotary Foundation and leadership in the Rotary India Literacy Mission, impacting millions of students across our country. A recipient of Rotary. Ladies and gentlemen, past Rotary International Director, Rotarian Aniruddha Roy Chowdhury.
Good evening, my friends. Honorable Minister Rajaa, Industries Minister of Government of Tamil Nadu. We have with us today the District Governor of a new district, 3234, Vinod Saragi and his gracious wife, the First Lady Usha ji, and of course we have two presidents of the joint meeting, Rotary Club of Madras and Nikhil Raj, and Rotary Club of Madras Kilpok, Karthik. I'm correct, Karthik, yeah. Friends, what a day it has been. Right from the morning, we had witnessed a wonderful project of Rotary Club of Madras. From around 100 kilometers from here, handing over ceremony of 23 apartments, the home for homeless, to a community. And this is the second phase of this project, which I had witnessed few years before the first one. And having seen this project, they had a planning of 500 to build up the 500 those apartments for these communities over a period of time. And this is the second phase. They completed almost 63, and they are planning to complete another 37, so make it 100. So I was wondering, it is not only the project, it is touching the lives of those communities. And it is not only the the apartment building. They have taken utmost care to ensure that all the basic necessity and infrastructures are in place. That is the most, even they have gone to the extent of landscaping there, all the basic needs of the community, and the way they have made this entire ecosystem of that project is so extremely well. I really salute all the members of Rotary Club of Madras for conceptualizing this project. Thank you, Nikhil. Under your leadership, this has happened. And immediately after that, I have also had the privilege of witnessing another very good project. It is handing over ceremony, the cycle, bicycle to 400 students today. And that has been, again, very heart-touching, It is not only the able students, they've also ensured that from the two schools, they get specially able children also to have this, bicycle. It is not that the bicycle, they have given them that wings of empowerment, and that is the project name is ensure the mobility. So that is another good project. And third, we are meeting here, the joint meeting. So my dear friends, you all know that, that is a acronym, SNSR, Sun Never Sets in Rotary. And this is, in fact, it's coined by the architect of Rotary Foundation's Arch Clumps, when he had funded this endowment fund with a small, meager amount of $26.5 US in way back 1917. And that foundation today, we have a corpus fund of more than $2.5 billion. And of course, every year, we're raising fund to $5 million to serve the community across the world. And that is why we said sun never sets in Rotary, because every time something or other is happening. Like, we are all meeting here today in Chennai, maybe 1.5 hours after, about 2 hours after in Dubai, somebody sitting here again, they're speaking about good thing to happen in the community, in some Rotary club in Dubai. Similarly, in every, the In London, maybe after 5 hours, many clubs will meet and they'll be discussing projects to live within that community. So this is what Rotary is all about. It is a continuous, service and the fellowship and networking opportunities being given to 1.2 million people, not only confined with it, and we have another 0.2 million of our youth group, which is attached now very integrally with Rotary, our Rotractors and Intractors. To the, the knowledge of our Honorable Minister, sir, I would like to mention that it is in this city of this state of Tamil Nadu, there are many clubs, we call it Zone 5. And Zone 5 is the most potential zone of Rotary International. In under Zone 5, we almost have 1,900 clubs, and almost we have 40,000 Rotarians across Tamil Nadu and doing extremely well. And last year, because I had the privilege to be Director of Rotary International, Board of Director of Rotary International from 2023 to 25. So I have seen projects worth of every year these clubs, all the 1,900 clubs. If a cumulative figure, if I give you, it is more than Indian currency is 2,000 crore worth of projects. It goes into the community by this. This only the clubs from Zone 5. As for the District 6 is concerned, this is a brand new district. It was chartered last year only, and now in this, your city of Madras or Chennai, there are two, districts of Rotary International, 3233 and 3234. They expanded exponentially last 5 years, and now in this particular city of the city of Chennai, we have almost 10,000 Rotarians. So that can you imagine the 10,000 Rotarians, and doing extremely well in all the 7 focus areas of services. But one thing I would like to mention, because this is a brand new district, and now we have 82 clubs with almost 2,000 plus Rotarians. There is enough scope to have an expansion in the growth in membership. My request to all the senior leaders are present here, all the 2 presidents are present here. We have a unique models of clubs. You can go with clubs like satellite clubs. We have other models of clubs. But most importantly, there are gated communities already. All this mega city now have a gated community where there's a unique opportunity to put a club within the gated community. And if we can really, start doing it, we have taken this initiative in our district 3291. We have been able to break the glass ceiling last year, and now we have 2 gated community clubs, and they're doing extremely well. And I'm sure if you really try, and you can also succeed in this matter, and you can have a good potential members from the gated communities to strengthen your existing membership strength. So my friends, I'll not extend my talk today, because we are looking forward to listen to our Honorable Minister and from the industries of Government of Tamil Nadu. I wish you all the best to you, and sir, I will look forward to listen to you. Thank you. May God bless all of you.
From Kolkata. It is a pleasure to host you. As I invite our President to introduce the best of your presence here with us. So after your address, we have planned a small moderated session by our own Rotarian Chakravarti Lokapriya. So I'm just a heads up for our Minister. May I now invite President Rotarian Nikhil Raj to invite our esteemed chief guest.
Thank you, Rani. Very good afternoon to the dignitaries on the dais and to all our fellow Rotarians in the audience. Dr. TRB Rajaa is the Honorable Minister for Industries, Investment, Promotion. Yeah? Okay, he'll take it over from here. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that introduction is enough. Thank you. That's the important part. So the rest you wouldn't want to know. The rest is not the important part. This is the best part, and this is the best part that I sort of love these days. So thank you, President. Sorry to interrupt you. That was not meant to interrupt him. It was just that the rest of it is not that important for us, right? What is important is what this person here who is in charge of the Department of Industries today in the best state in India going to do for the state. What can he do, and how can he learn from you and add more value to this department? That's, I think, is what is more important. So ladies and gentlemen, it's such an honor to be here and such a pleasure. Oh yeah, perfect.